If I was talking to my 20 or 25-year-old self, what are some of those things that I would tell to that person? The first thing I would tell my 20-year-old self is to have a plan. Have a plan. And when I say have a plan, it's just not fantasies in the head. It's a documented plan of where I want to end up. You know, it might sound so simple, but there are very few people who have documented, actionable, step-by-step plan of what they want to do with their life. Now, is it that once you have the plan, you will definitely get there? No. But what I've realized is that when you have a plan, it's like having a map. You have a Google map of Lagos Island, and you are driving to Lagos Island, and you are supposed to take Broad Street based on the map. You may end up not even going to Lagos Island. You might get to maybe Marina, and then you realize that, let me just drive to Eco Atlantic, or let me go to the beach, you know. But the fact that you had a map took you in that direction. A lot of young people, they have what you call fantasies, and they have an idea, oh, I want to be this when I grow up. They don't have structured, written down step-by-step action plan. If you do that, it will help you to cut out a lot of detours that you would make in life. And because what we have is time in limited quantity, so what you're able to do part time is the most important determinant of where you will end up. And if you want to do more, is to have a plan that eliminates the distraction. If you don't know where you're going, you will not get there. So that's one thing that I would say. Have a plan. Have a very good plan, and then try as much as possible to follow it. But be flexible, which is the second thing I will tell myself. Be flexible as you execute the plan. The other thing I would tell my 20, 25-year-old younger self is to listen more, particularly to people who have gone ahead. You know, it's easy, and it happens in every generation, that we tend to look at the generation behind us as not knowing what they're doing, or this is the new generation, the new reality is different, they don't understand what we're going through. But what I've seen in my short life is to realize that there's nothing new under the heaven. What we've done as human in our history is to keep recycling the same experience in different format. You know, when COVID came, people were like, this has never happened before. The truth is, there has been COVID-like pandemic over and over in the history of humanity. So the challenge a lot of time is we don't understand history and we don't learn from it. Or we tend to discount it because we think that they do not understand the realities of our time. But principles are everlasting, and principles do not change. So what I would tell my 20 or 25-year-old self is to listen more to what people have gone ahead by reason of age, by reason of experience, by reason of work. To sit more and listen more and put more weight on what they say. The third thing I would tell my 25-year-old self is that time is precious. Like, time is precious. You know, you will just wake up one day and realize and ask yourself, where exactly did the time go? Because we tend to measure time in seconds, in minutes, in hours, and that is the reality that would carry around. So you just say, oh, I would just spend 30 minutes doing nothing, right? But life is accumulation of 1 second, of seconds, and then minutes and cool. So I will be in a hurry, but I will not kill myself, or I will not overdrive myself. When I say being in a hurry, is to be very firm about your timelines, to be committed to doing more per time, because time will just disappear, and then you won't know it until it strikes you in the face and you realize that time is gone. If you are in your 20s or 30s listening today, the most important gift that you have is time, because everything you will do or can do is measured in time. The other thing I will say about time before I go back to those lessons is you cannot manage time, because time is a component of life that is fixed. What you can manage is what you can influence, you can lengthen, you can shorten, you can expand. There's no way you would get 25 hours in a day. So when you are managing time, is a myth that we tend to think. What we manage is our energy, is our productivity. That is what you can manage. So one of the things I would tell my 25-year-old self is every day, every week, every month, to ask, how can I be more productive? How can I deploy the energy I have? Because every day that you live, you deploy your energy. Now depends on where. And you must deploy it, which is why you become restless sometimes. Right? So what are you deploying your energy to do within the time that you have? The fourth thing that I would tell my 25-year-old self is that, relationships and people matter. I think I missed that a lot. Wherever you are part time, you need to do the best you can, add the value you can, make the impact you can, love the most you can, and be very passionate about those who care about you. Tell them, express it to them, let them know. Some of them will disappoint you, but it doesn't really matter, because in a short while, you won't have those people in your life. Not necessarily because they would die, but because the flow of life would take you guys in different directions. Those relationships becomes important when we no longer have them. And the best we can have is the memory of what we had. And that is what keeps us, smiling. So it's to be intentional about people, whether they are good or not. The fifth thing I would tell my younger self is to say that, nothing really matters. Because what I've realized is the thing that would take us very important some few years back, you look at them now and then you realize that they were never important. Like, why did I take that decision on the basis of this feeling that I had? So, because you've grown, you've seen more, you realize that what you thought was important was not important. So don't make life-changing, life-molding decision on the basis of the events of your life. There are key things that you can build cornerstone around, and that's your faith, that's your value, But beyond all those things, every other thing is not really worth you making those lifelong decisions around. The sixth thing, I don't know if it's sixth or not, is to say, you should value yourself more. When you value yourself, you don't allow people to ride roughshod over you. You respect yourself. When you respect yourself, you refuse to be treated in certain ways. When you refuse to be treated, when you decide how you want to be treated, people will end up treating you in that manner. And when I say respect yourself, it's not necessarily by being arrogant or having chips on your shoulder. It's about understanding that you want to be treated with dignity and treating every other person around you with dignity, and refusing for anything to condone anything that is beneath that. Why is this important? The choices we make sometimes is influenced by how we perceive ourselves. I've seen instances where people choose a spouse that is not up to par, not because they want to choose that person, but because they feel that that is the person that they deserve. I've made turns in my life, choices in my life that is based on how I perceived what I'm worth and what I should get, right? And not the best that I can get. So that is the other thing I would tell my 25-year-old self is that spend it all, stretch yourself. People tend to overestimate the concept of balance. And honestly, that can be one reason for mediocrity. Whatever you're called to do, whatever your hand finds to do, go all in and do it. Don't seek for a tempering of your passion or your drive or the goal that you are trying to achieve. Give it all 100%. Because whether you like it or not, as you grow older, the demands of life stop you from giving 100% because you have competing demands on your life. So when you have the opportunity to give it 100%, you have a chance, a short window to accelerate your journey. So when you're in that age range, that is when you should give it a go. If you don't, you'll get to that point that even if you want to give it a go, you won't be able to by reason of other commitments, kids, by reason of energy, by reason of... So give it a go. Give it a go. The other thing that I want to tell my 25-year-old self is, to enjoy the journey, right? To enjoy the journey, to laugh at things, to embrace the heartache, to just have fun all the time. Because by and large, memories is where we end up in. One of the human I love with all my heart is my mom. And one of the regrets I have is not having the fun that I should have had with her. And I realized that because I wanted to do so many things, and really I was trying to do those things so that she can be happy that I did those things. But I did realize that, taking the time to enjoy the moment will actually become more important as you grow older. So when you have those opportunities, be intentional about sharing those moments with them. Because when the chips are down, what will keep you happy, what will keep you looking into the future is the memories of the past. So be intentional about building those memories. Go out of your way. If you have a parent that you love, go out of your way to buy gifts, go out of your way to express the love. Because by natural biological sequence of things, they will leave you behind. You don't want to look back and wish you did those things. I was telling a group of young people that if your parents are still alive and in a state where they can appreciate the things you do, you want to pick up your phone and call them, because they will be gone. And it's not just about parents, it's also friends, it's also every loved one, right? Because what do we have in a few years will be those memories, So lastly, whatever it is that's your dream, start early. Don't worry about how perfect it should be or shouldn't be. There's nothing called perfection, right? So just start.